Hey tubers, Scrooge here. All right, so here we are. It's the beginning of a new week. We're on week 2 of my e-waste journey. For all you new people, if you hadn't had a chance to go check out the videos, go check them out. These are the ram sticks from last week that we took all the nice gold off of. But you know, those ram sticks, I know everybody sees the gold and they want to take that off, but you know, they got a few hidden features. That may come in handy for you in your process. Maybe not, maybe so, I don't know, but let's figure it out together. And so for all you new people here, yeah, I'm Scrooge, and this is my shop, and that's my Depop box. And that's what we're gonna do today is we're gonna take all those nice little BGAs off of ram sticks, and we're gonna use this. I really don't want to be chucking up fumes and stuff in my shop, and I don't want to deal with it today. It's not a bad day. I don't have the heater running, so I don't want to have to open my door. So we're just going to run with this box here. It's pretty simple. I know the video I made making that box was a little dry. Let me apologize. I don't know what to say. For all you people that don't know, this is my second week. This is day 14 of us here on this channel going through this adventure together. And if you don't know, I'm going to screw up. And that's okay. Because, you know, you guys are helping me out. I'm learning more in the last 2 weeks that I've been here with you guys than I have in the last year of doing my own research. So again, I always say, do your own research. I know what I know, and I have notebooks of information written down that I go to when I don't know something. So sometimes I may say some things that are wrong, but just do your own research. And you guys, you know, be safe. When cranking these out in that Depop box, there's going to be stuff flying off of these. They've got tons of little, you know, MLCCs and whatnot on them, and there's just a bunch of small junk, and you don't want to get that in your eyes. So glasses. I mean, it doesn't even have to be safety glasses. I guess that's up to you. I don't know, just a pair of glasses. Keep that stuff out of your eyes. And so we're going to get a couple of these set up. And if you haven't seen the video, you can kind of see how that box works there for me in my process. And so we're going to get some of these stripped off here, and we're going to come back. All right, so before you guys start just wackadoing away at these ram sticks, they always have a sticker on them. You guys know them, you see them all over the place. They got them stickers in the back, and they also have this foam. Some of them come in aluminum heat sinks or whatever you want to call them. You know what, you've seen them. Anyway, so they got the foam pad on the back of them. So before you start wackadoing, I take all the stickers off, not only because they won't end up inside of my stock pot potentially, but if you do and you start taking them, they do come off nice. But you end up with stuff. You can, in fact, if I can zoom in, you can see a piece of gold in the center right there, stuck to that right there. So you get gold stuck to it, and yeah, then you gotta put that stuff in over there into your stock pot, and then that sucks. Sorry to make you dizzy. That sucks because then you start having to muck around with that, and then you're just losing gold. So just 1 minute to take those stickers and that foam and stuff off, so that later on, when you start finding hidden things like gold actually on the board, and you want to start chucking them into your stock pot for some reason, you know, yeah, that's a little hidden nugget there, you know. The direction and the polarity and stuff of these, or whatever it is, they're actual gold. And they got them on quite a bit. Some have copper on them, you know, but they got gold on them. So we'll come to that. But make sure before you start just peeling them all apart and everything, get those stickers off of there. Don't lose any gold just because you forgot to take them off. You know, I learned my lesson once already on these guys. Yeah, I can't do that right-handed. On these guys right here. I learned my lesson, and I hope you can learn from me too. So let's get to peeling these BGAs off of here. And another quick tip, so I take this stuff out away from like the edge of my Depop box. If you were to put this in here and you were to take this sticky stuff and peel it off and it lands into your pile, it's gonna pick up more gold. So I mean, if you're doing it, you know, just take it out here, peel it off, and throw this stuff away. Get rid of this sticky stuff. Anything that sticks, anything that's gonna stick could potentially stick gold to it, and it's just not worth leaving around. So, you know, have a little garbage can. Yeah, no, I got a vacuum, and I'll take care of that. But yeah, so get rid of anything that's like sticky. I know it doesn't sound like much, but you'll notice after a while, it will collect on that stuff, and you're just throwing your gold away. All right, so we're gonna try to get this on camera. I don't know if it's gonna work, but yeah, so there's all the little, you know, BGAs and everything else, and we're gonna see if we can get this on camera. And you just rock it back and forth, and you peel it all off of there. It all stays inside your box. And there you go. But you can see one of the hidden features. See that little bit of gold in there? Yeah, that's still on the board. So we're gonna look at these a little more. Don't throw them away. They're not worthless just because you've taken the gold fingers and you've taken the BGAs off. There's still some more value to them if you just take a moment. So don't throw them away. So we'll come back when we're all done. Yeah, I don't know. So the camera seems to like to stay there. So let's see if we can do it in real time here and see how quick. It doesn't really take that much time at all. And you just get them clean. But while we're doing it, yeah, I don't know. It's only been 2 weeks, you guys. And I've got over 80 subscribers thanks to you guys coming to check this stuff out. And that's awesome. I'm only on week 2 of my journey. And this is the step I'm at, is where I'm at. You guys are watching it happen every day. Now, if you guys want to skip forward and find out what happens to these BGAs, then either A, you can look at my videos and see if I'm that far. Otherwise, you know, there's other YouTubers that they're really knowledgeable. And, you know, it doesn't hurt to just see other people doing what they do. And sometimes you'll say, whoa, why are you doing that? Well, some people it works better, you know, however they do. So yeah, if you're at that point where you want to skip ahead, then go skip ahead. Otherwise, if I'm not there yet, then go check out some other people's pages and stuff. But this is where I am, and I'm just shocked. I mean, I've got all you guys are supporting me, and I'm learning, and it's great. And we're just figuring it out together. And that stock pot over there, it's coming along great. It really is. There's not really any problems. When I have a question about it that I can't get answered through what is becoming quite the network of prominent YouTubers or whatever you want to call them, they know they're way more knowledgeable than I am. But yeah, so I think it's coming along good. You can see the gold in there. It's not disappearing. And even if it does, even if it disappears into solution somewhere, it's not leaving and just like up and running away or disappearing or anything. It's still inside that jug. So it's not going nowhere. Even if we pop it in the solution somehow, there's a way to get it out. You just have to sit down and explore your options, do a little experimenting without blowing your eyebrows off again. And yeah, just figure it out. And I know we're gonna hit that 100 subs at some point. It's definitely a lot faster than what I thought was gonna happen. So yeah, we'll deal with that when we get there. But this is coming along. I got one more, and that makes it done. So yeah, that easy. If you just tuck that carpet in there, I kind of lifted it up in the back so that it kind of had something to cushion it instead of bouncing around in there and everything. And just that little alteration from the video I made actually made a world of difference. See how that carpet kind of curled up in the back? And instead of bouncing off that back wall, now it kind of just bounces back in there. And there's all your BGAs. Pretty darn simple. And now, yeah, you can pop these, you can burn them, and you can grind them, and we'll get further into that. But there's still one more secret, one more thing these BGAs can give to us before we end their existence as a BGA. They got a little secret, and we're going to talk about that here in a minute. So let me get this all cleaned up, and we'll come back to you. So I don't know if you guys can really see that as good, but yeah, there's a little MLCC. There's some gold stuck to it. There's some gold up there stuck to that little sticker. There's the edge of a BGA with some copper flashing, gold flashing will be underneath. So yeah, you'd be surprised at how much junk actually sticks to that thing. Now I lost it, but that's okay. You guys saw it. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, how much stuff sticks to that, and you just throw that away, and it's just throwing gold away. So if you're at this point, it counts to pay attention. And here's a close-up shot of the back of a couple BGAs, and you can see, the gold is already on the outside, and yeah, there's gold bond wires all throughout in there. But if you look at they look like little copper nodes on them. Well, that's like a tin solder ball. And BGAs stand for ball grid array. And so all these little tiny solder balls connect to the board. But, that tin solder, that can come in handy. So let's see what we can do with that. Here's a good shot where the tin is still on the back, the solder. Now, so yeah, if you take these and you actually put them into HCl and let them sit for a little while, you can actually make a form of stannous chloride. Now, I don't think I'll do it with these because you can see that little gold corner, and I really don't want that floating around. But in a pinch, if you find other ones that don't have that gold and you need a quick stannous test, throw a couple of your BGAs in some HCl, let them sit while you're doing your process, and it will work for you. It's a crude form, but it does work. So if you guys are wondering how to test your solution and you're in a pinch, just a little bit of HCl in your BGAs, and that should do fine. Now, if you notice the difference on these ram sticks here, they have like IC style with the legs, and I wouldn't try to make the stannous chloride like you would with the BGAs from these kind. It's just not going to work, and I don't suggest it, but yeah, and these guys have their own process. They'll come into play here later. I'm not mucking around with them. I'm just not. So now you're saying, Scrooge, you got all these laying here and all this crud, and what are you going to do? Well, what am I going to do? I'm going to take and I'm going to put it all into a container, and then when I want to sort it out, because this is just going to be my BGAs, I'm going to run it through, a sieve of some kind, of course, and just all this stuff will fall to the bottom, and I'll get all that. And even these little guys, they can be processed the same way as these. And now I know if you want to try to get a yield specifically on one type, then yeah, you want to get all the crud and everything out, and you want to keep just the RAM BGAs and get a yield, then by all means. But for me, I can get more bang for my buck if I do similar items together in the same round. So for me, it doesn't make sense to kind of sort it out. Maybe later on in this channel, we'll do some experiments with that. But right now, for just what we're doing and how far we've come in the 2 weeks we've been here, we're doing good. And this is what I'm going to do for my process. So I'm going to get a container and I'm going to put them in there, and we're going to come back to those ram sticks quick and make sure we cover, the couple things. And yeah. And then, yeah, one more thing. So, yeah, you're going to end up with bond wires and MLCCs and all sorts of stuff that is just stuck in your carpet. And, if you start shaking it all over the place, you're just going to lose it anyways. So what I do is I just kind of let it build up because it's not going nowhere. It's just going to stay in that carpet. So I put her back in the depot box, and we'll do a clean out of just that, because you'd be surprised how much actually gets trapped into one of these carpets. So don't be going and flinging it so that it looks better and cleaner and all that stuff. Just keep it. And then later on down the road, we'll entertain a thought about seeing what's inside of just that carpet. All right, so we got the ram sticks, we got the BGAs, they're in here, they're ready to go. They're just gonna go off, and the more I clean up, the more, and then once I have this container full, we'll probably process it. And that's about how I'm gonna run that, which is all right. So the gold's not going nowhere. It's not going no place. It's gonna still be in that jar, and it's still gonna be waiting for us to process it. So that's cool. And sometimes, there's still stuff to be had. Like I was saying, there's still a little gold on the edge there that I missed. That's what I was talking about, having the right pair of shears. I learned my mistake about having the right-handed cutting shears on yeah. And there's other, that piece is copper, but where's that guy? There he is. That's gold lettering on there. I mean, no joke. So if you want to sit there and micro scrap that down, you can take the corners off. It looks like the board's copper underneath of there, but hey, we're going to take these and we're just going to explore them and we're going to figure out what's underneath of there. And then I can do an official video on how to get rid of the solder mask, and it'll be really easy peasy, and we can still use these as an example. So, I mean, they still got some life to them. There's still something in there. I know there is, and we'll find it. And we also had these guys. This guy had some gold fingers on it, and I took them off for the 50 sub special. Yeah, I was still only a week out. I was still new. It's kind of cringy. Let me apologize, but there's a couple hidden things on this guy here that I want to talk about really quick. And this guy, there he is. That turned out, it didn't have any gold in the connector. There's no point in processing it any further than what it is, because there's just a little base metal, a little copper in there. So that guy he's going to go into my scrap steel, is what I do with mine. So he ends up going in my little bucket down there, and that's brass. I don't get rid of the bucket. That's my brass bucket. Yeah, I love it to death. But let's look at this guy. And just off the bat, you can see that there's, gold flashing on there and everything. And that's cool. And there's got a BGA right here, so that's even more cool. And there's going to be something underneath of there, but we'll crack that open. But if you guys are seeing what I'm seeing, that's a gold rim. Some people call them oscillators. I don't want to call it a crystal. I'm not sure. I think it's more related to a BGA than it is like a silver crystal oscillator. And even on the left hand, I don't want to move it, but you can see the auxiliary and everything. Those are gold pins from little antenna connectors. So this was a Wi-Fi card that came out of a TV. And look at that little gold band. And yeah, I know somebody in particular who loves to keep them guys. And I know I'm gonna keep them too. So yeah, even when you're just standing here and it doesn't even look like there's much on there, if you really just take a minute and look at your stuff, explore what it is, you'll find that there's more than what meets the eye on these things. And so we're going to take care of that. We're going to get them in there, and we're going to take care of feeding that stock pot. I'm not sure what, but head on over and check out those videos. And if you're new, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. And if you're continuing to come watch me, then thank you for, helping me along my journey. I hope maybe I've helped you along yours in some way. If so, hit that like button. And as always, I love you, and go wash your face.